after a long series of online dialogue with my colleagues, foreign ministers of the member states of the European Union. We have a very challenging agenda for today and for tomorrow. We will now have an informal lunch with the Foreign Minister of Israel, Mr. Ashkenazi, and we will discuss the situation in the region and the perspectives of the EU-Israel relations. I will express Romania's support for the enhancement of the relationship between the European Union and Israel, for the resuming of the meetings of the EU-Israel Association Council, and I will also discuss about the Middle East peace process and express the position of Romania, which is well known to the sense that we support a long, just, and long-lasting solution to the Middle East peace process based on the two-state formula, which is the only solution which will respond to the needs of the parties, states that should live together side by side in peace and security. We will also discuss today about Belarus. Romania is very worried about the situation in Belarus. We have expressed our concerns about the abuses of the regime against the protesters and against the opposition. For instance, we are very much concerned about the recent detainment of representatives of the Coordination Council of the opposition and other representatives of the protesters. And I will renew today Romania's call for targeted sanctions against those who are responsible for the election fraud and for the abuses against the protesters. According to the figures which are made available by the opposition, before the elections around 1,500 people were arrested. After the elections around 8,000 persons were arrested. They also mention a figure of 5 people who died during the protests, 600 wounded. And we shouldn't forget about the 37 political prisoners that are still imprisoned in Belarus, and we should continue to ask for their becoming free. At the same time, we will discuss about how to support the civil society in Belarus, and I will make the announcement that I have started the procedure for allotting 100,000 euros from Romania's International Assistance for Development funds in order to support the independent media and the civil society in Belarus. We will also discuss today about the growing tensions in East Mediterranean, and I will express the solidarity of Romania with Greece and Cyprus, and at the same time the appeal for calm, for de-escalation, for dialogue, for resuming the negotiations in order to find a solution in conformity with the legitimate interests of the parties and, of course, in accordance with the international law. We will also discuss tomorrow about the EU-Russia relations, and this is a very challenging strategic topic. We will, together with the External Action Service, examine the assessment of the implementation of the 5 principles that we have agreed together in 2016, and we will see how this implementation took place. And we hope that this analysis will confirm our principled approach and also the fact that we need a balanced implementation of all these 5 principles. We will also discuss tomorrow about the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic from the geopolitical point of view on the EU role and influence as a global actor. And we will analyze, of course, which are those tendencies which were prompted by this crisis, which are those tendencies which were accelerated by this crisis, and which of them are in favor of the interests and objectives of the European Union, and which are those which are running contrary to the objectives and interests of the European Union, in order to see what measures the EU should take in order to achieve its objectives. So it will be a very challenging agenda, and I'm looking forward to the debates with my colleagues. Thank you.
Minister, do you want to see Mr. Lukashenko on the sanctions list?
We will discuss about the sanctions list. As I mentioned, we support a comprehensive sanctions list, and this is a matter for debate for today. Thank you.
Hi, how are you?